President Trump just moments ago.
This was our last best chance to strike what we're doing right now and eliminate the intolerable threats posed by this sick and sinister regime.
There have been 4 American fatalities in the 3-day military action. The president took note of that. CBS's Ellie Watson at the Pentagon.
The 3 that were killed and then a 4th who later succumbed to his injuries and died were injured severely when a projectile targeted a tactical operations center. We've reported that that's in Kuwait. That happened in Kuwait. General Dan Kane says they expect to take additional losses. Kane also outlined that the buildup has been happening for about 30 days in the lead up to Friday and said additional forces are expected to come in today and in the coming days.
The U.S. says it lost 3 jets to friendly fire, but those on board ejected safely. Tehran has carried out counterattacks. It sent oil prices higher. CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
It's not just about the Strait of Hormuz. We are also seeing infrastructure being targeted overnight in Saudi Arabia. So this is a large-scale thing. And if you think about what happened, in a worst-case scenario, we could see oil spike above $100 a barrel. I don't want long-scale operation.
Iran has hit targets in Israel as part of its response to the U.S. attacks. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
I want to say special thanks to our great friend and a great leader of the world, Donald Trump, for joining us in this crucial effort to save the world.
Well, some may be reluctant, but it seems America's overseas allies are getting on board with the war in Iran.
I'm Vicki Barker in London, where Prime Minister Keir Starmer's image as something of a Trump whisperer has taken a battering. President Trump has told Britain's Daily Telegraph he was very disappointed with Starmer's initial refusal to let Washington use UK-run military bases in its war against Iran. Starmer has since relented, at least partially, allowing the U.S. access for defensive missions only.
Here at home, CBS's Jim Ursula has more on tributes being paid today to the late Jesse Jackson.
I am somebody.
It was a message civil rights activist and 2-time presidential candidate Jesse Jackson delivered for decades. His body now lies in state at the South Carolina State Capitol in Columbia. The native son died at the age of 84 nearly 2 weeks ago from a rare neurological disorder.
The Dow is down 70 points. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here?
How is this possible? Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60.
Jet?
Coming up, we're going to hear from both parties, members of Washington's congressional delegation weighing in on the president's decision to attack Iran. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Nothing major going on right now, but there are some delays out there. Alderwood to South Center taking an extra 14 minutes, about 62 minutes right now to get from that stretch. Auburn to Renton, about a 7-minute delay. Federal Way to Seattle taking you about an extra 10 minutes right now. And there is some road work to be aware of on Highway 3 near El Sur Road. That's going on both directions, so there'll be some delays in that stretch too. Get ready for a night of hard-hitting MMA excitement with WFC 190, April 25th at Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Frank Lindsay. We're hearing from members of Washington's congressional delegation on the war with Iran. Republican Congressman Michael Baumgartner defending President Trump's decision.
Main people that are saying it's illegal are also the same people that said nothing when President Obama attacked Libya, or said nothing when we were using justifiably military force against the Houthis.
Democrat Adam Smith, ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee, like Baumgartner, supports a leadership change in Iran, but he says military action is not the answer.
That's not a way to launch a war. So we're in a full-scale Middle East war. We don't know exactly what it is that success would look like. What are we trying to accomplish? And how long is it going to last?
Whidbey Island's EA-18 Growlers playing a key role in the U.S. military's latest air campaign.
They proved their mettle also, not only here in this current conflict in Epic Fury, but if you recall, just back in early January, went after Madaro in that raid. They were essential then, they're essential now.
Retired Air Force Lieutenant General Richard Newton there on Seattle's Morning News, where he said the electronic warfare jets will remain in the fight for a long time. The Navy released photos over the weekend showing those planes launching from the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. If If you hear explosions near Joint Base Lewis McChord this week, it's just training from 9 o'clock tomorrow morning through 6 o'clock Friday evening. JBLM will be doing day and nighttime mortar training. Man shot by police in Ballard last month has died. Seattle Times reports 62-year-old Christopher Bowman of Kansas died last Wednesday, 13 days after he was shot. Police tracked him down after his ex-girlfriend called 911, saying he was following her, and she'd warned them that he usually carries a gun. KIRO News Radio weather is calling for mostly sunny skies this afternoon, a high of 58 degrees. Showers tomorrow, 53. Same thing on Wednesday. Scattered showers on Thursday, too, mostly cloudy and 50 degrees. Right now, partly cloudy skies in downtown Seattle, 40 degrees. I'm Frank Lindsay. KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday. Come on now. Hope you had a great weekend. I am here today. It's your guy. It's your boy, G. Scott. Paul Holden is here. Nick is here. Good to see you guys. And, of course, filling in for Ursula this week will be, our favorite, Angela Poe Russell. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning to you, G.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to be here with you. Even during difficult times, it's good to come to work and be with good people.
Yeah. Now, when you say glad to be with me, doesn't my energy sometimes, have you just on edge a little bit?
You know what? I will take a happy extra person over a person that always has a complaint and is grumpy. So you err on the side of sunshine and on the happy side of the street. So I'll take it.
Okay, good stuff. Hey, we got a big show today. Paul put together something special for us. Coming up at 9:30. Seattle's e-scooter boom. Is it boom or bust? We'll tell you about that at 9:30. But we got a lot to get into, so let's go. Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Okay, let's talk about the situation in the Middle East. It is escalating as we enter day 3 of Operation Epic Fury. In fact, the president has been speaking live for the last several minutes. We'll talk about that. But here's the update. Israel launched strikes at Lebanon, and Iran began striking critical oil facilities in the Gulf. U.S. officials say we are sending more service members to the region. Overnight, 3 U.S. fighter jets were accidentally shot down in a friendly fire incident in Kuwait. All of them ejected safely, the pilots, and are in stable condition. Iran's top security official denied news reports that Iran's new leaders were seeking to negotiate with us, denouncing Mr. Trump for, quote, delusional fantasies and for plunging the Middle East into chaos. He said Iran, unlike the U.S., has prepared itself for a long war. 4 American service members have been killed in the conflict so far. 4 others have been seriously wounded. Here are some remarks that President Trump made about that prior.
We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more.
Gee. I believe it was Saturday morning we woke up and saw what had happened overnight. What's your reaction to all that has transpired?
A bunch of questions. And I, like many of you, once this all started, have been glued to watching the coverage on it. And I thought, instead of this morning, me coming in here with hot takes and all those things, I just wanted to simplify. First, before I get into it, I just want to say this. My love and prayers goes out to all of our men and women that serve in our armed forces that are and can be potentially put into harm's way. My love goes out to all of those families, especially the families right now who have lost loved ones already during this whole thing. So right now, Angela, I just have questions, and I'm just going to leave you guys with 3 of them. And then that's kind of how we'll move on, and then I'll ask you what you think. The first question I wrote these down over the weekend was this. How many American lives are too many lost before we truly demand a clearer objective to what's going on? That's one question. 2, how did we go from diplomacy to airstrikes in the matter of 11 years? That's 2. And the last but not least, and this is very simple, is going to be this. Now that this has taken place over the weekend, and now I think we're going into day 3, now what? What is the plan? What truly is the clear, objective plan that me, you, and maybe whether we agree or disagree with the plan or not, but what is the plan? Because the plan, I would hope, would have to be more than Iranians that are there now go ahead and take over the government. And if that's the plan, what does that look like? So I'm telling you today, I don't have the hot takes. I am coming on here and telling you all, I just have questions.
You know, it's interesting. Before I go to bed each night, we listen to KIRO radio and we listen to some of the news headlines. And last night, with everything going on, I had to turn it off because it is a cluster. And I can tell you all listening, there is so much going on, more than we can even get to in a single segment.
Yeah.
And it has me deeply concerned, shocked emoji face, and it just keeps getting, and here's what I hope. I hope, because I know there are a lot of conflicting emotions around this because of the regime in Iran, but the question is always about what is our role in that? What should our role be and when? And what should the process be? Mm-hmm. So I know there are a lot of conflicting emotions. But at the end of the day, I mean, you brought up President Trump and what he promised during the campaign, and I guess I'll hit that clip.
I will tell you, you're not going to have a war with me, and you're not going to have a third world war with me. That I can tell you.
So what I'm hoping is that they've thought steps ahead, because as I reported, now Israel is going at Lebanon. Lebanon's at Israel, and then going into, I believe it was Dubai. I mean, so this is an all-out conflict escalation right now, and I hope that the people in charge have thought 3 and 4 steps ahead.
I hope so too.
Because that's what I'm worried about, that you have not thought about every scenario. Mm-hmm. You know, the little threat assessment risk you're supposed to do? Mm-hmm. And sometimes I wonder if we're doing that.
Yeah.
That's my question. I mean, I'm just being frank with you. We've been sitting in the newsroom, and we're going to get to our next story, I promise. But we're sitting in the newsroom, and we were waiting to hear what the president had to say. You know, it's Monday morning, and I go live, and he's talking about the new ballroom and drapes and how beautiful it's going to be. Let's get to our next top story. I'll roll the sound because I don't have anything else to say on that. Let's talk about sports gambling. There are a lot of you doing it. A lot of us doing it. It's surging across the U.S. Americans wagering more than $150 billion on games and matches just last year alone. Now a high-stakes legal battle is unfolding over who controls one of the fastest-growing segments of that market, so-called novelty betting. Luke Ducey joins us now to explain what's going on. Luke, okay, first let's level set for everybody. Sure. What is novelty betting?
So those are the kind of bets, and you've probably heard about these from really popular companies like Kalshi and Polymarket, where you can bet on something that's going to happen in the future, like who will be the next president? Will it be this person, yes or no? Or there's even a bet out there right now, will Jesus come back to earth by 2029? And that is a bet that one of these platforms provides that you can bet on. You can put money down on.
These are games that people play at home, but betting money on them, that sounds new. Or be like, hey, I'll bet you $5, right? We'll do that in person. So now people can go online and spend a ton of money, it sounds like.
Yeah, but here's the new part. Here's what's going on. So right now, state gambling regulators, including the Nevada Gaming Control Board, are suing these companies like Kalshi and Polymarket to kick them out of their states. And here's why. Let's use Washington as an example. Mm-hmm. So in our state, you can place a sports bet. It's legal, but you have to do it at the casino. So if you want to bet on the Seahawks to cover 4.5 points in the Super Bowl, you can do that, but you have to be on casino property to do it. Now, with novelty betting, you're not making a sports bet, and I put in air quotes because it's going to sound just like a sports bet. What you're entering into is a sports event contract, and you can do it from the comfort of your own sofa because it has nothing to do with state regulators or the state. So you can be in Seattle making these bets on your sofa. They're not called bets. They're called financial derivatives. You're taking a position on whether the Seahawks will cover 4.5 points in the Super Bowl. All those positions, like I mentioned before, you can make those as well. And all of them are regulated under federal commodities law, not state law. So if that sounds weird to you, you can make the same bet, but it's not called a bet and it's under different control. Yeah, it does to those states too. And that's why there's sports gambling in 40 different states right now, and a big handful of them are suing to make this stop.
So what do they want to happen?
They don't want to allow these so-called novelty bets to happen in the state because the state can't control it. It's controlled under federal commodities law because you're not taking a bet. According to these companies, you're taking a position in a derivative.
Right now in the United States, I know as of right now, when it comes to sports betting, the state of Washington, you aren't allowed to sports bet from your phone on your couch. Are we one of 10 states? How many states in Washington where you cannot bet from your phone? Because there are states that you can bet from your phone.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. I don't know how many, what the makeup is, but there are 40 states that allow sports gambling, that legalize sports gambling.
Okay.
And some say, yeah, you can bet on any app, you can use any platform. In the state of Florida, they're a little different. There's one reservation, one tribe, the Seminole tribe, who is in control of, but you're allowed to make bets from your phone, but only with the one casino. In our state, we're one of many that say, yeah, you can sports gamble, but you can do it on your phone technically, but you have to be on the property of the casino.
Yep.
And a lot of that has to do with laws around, and especially federal laws, paying out money and having that exchange of money between the property and where you are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of legal questions going on about that right now as well. But just real fast, here's the strong message. I wanted to play this from the chairman of the Commodity Futures Exchange, Trading Commission, I should say, Michael Selig. Here was his message, and then I want to get into just really quickly why that may be, and it may all make a little more sense.
To those who seek to challenge our authority in this space, let me be clear. We will see you in court.
So that's the federal government telling everyone who is suing all these states, stay away. This is I'm in charge of this. I will say who gets to make these derivatives and who doesn't. This may put it in perspective. In August, Donald Trump Jr.'s venture capital group invested millions in Polymarket. Just last month, he became a paid strategic advisor to Kalshi, and those are arguably two of the largest novelty betting companies around.
You know, I was just reading an article that it was saying the top 5 legal professions that are emerging, and it has to do with technology, AI, all these things, because oftentimes the laws, the policies are not keeping up with all of the innovation and development. And I think this is another example of that.
Part of it, yeah. And the tech is very interesting. So in Florida, for instance, there is a lawsuit that's going on right now. If I make a bet and I send my phone signal to the servers, as long as the servers are on tribe property, reservation property, then they're in control of that data. However, there are questions about whether they make electronic payments to your phone that clearly leave the server and maybe use other avenues to get to your phone. Is that illegal according to to the federal government?
Someone's going to make a lot of money fighting over it.
I tell you, they're doing a good job for people like me because I'm tired. I'm tired of always being the one saying what this potentially can lead to. I'm tired of being the one. And I know 5-10 years from now, I'm going to sit here and say, I told you so. This is going to be, it's already an epidemic right now in our country. This sports gambling is a bad thing. Now, this right here, Luke, I think is just going to be the gateway to solidify other states to just go ahead and just let people gamble from the confines of their home. So here you are sitting at home. Your wife or your spouse thinks that you have X amount in your portfolio, thinking that you maybe have $200,000-$300,000 in your portfolio, and one day she goes to look at it and it's gone. It's gone because sports betting got to you.
So I agree with you, right? But where does personal freedom come in versus? Sure. No, I'm just wondering. I mean, we know alcohol is bad. We sell it in stores.
Yep.
Now it's at the grocery stores in Washington.
We know
been
cigarettes
that way
are
for
bad.
several years.
We know cigarettes are bad.
So do we just let this spiral?
We know foods are bad. We know some of the processed stuff we see in our grocery stores is bad. We allow bad stuff, and we know that we probably should do a lot more to protect the people. But this is what I'm saying, and people will campaign, right? When it's an epidemic, they will campaign on, hey, vote for me, and I'm going to help out your loved one with that gambling addiction. So let's create a problem so that we can be the ones used to solve the problem. It reminds me of people that want to set the house on fire, like, hey, look at me. I'll help put the fire out. Well, bruh, if you wouldn't have set the fire, we wouldn't be having a fire in the first place.
I feel like we're in that moment where Luke came here just to deliver some news and he jumped into an argument.
This is all good.
He's like, wait a minute.
This is all good. Let's add fuel to it a little bit. There are 10 states in the U.S. that do not, and voted, said we do not want gambling in our states. There are 10 of them. And now they're in a position where they can't say no to this because it's federally regulated and people are able to gamble in that state, even though the state and the majority of people, they vote for the representative, said we do not want gambling. Too bad, you're going to get it anyway.
There's a case you can make for collective good, but it's just that whose opinion is it and are the people for it? Okay, I was going to get to this next story. Maybe I'd do the shorter one first.
Okay, go
Let's
ahead.
do that. So Washington State Ferries,
Thanks,
if
Luke.
you do that, you're going to pay a little bit more starting actually today. A new 3% credit and debit card surcharge goes into effect on all ferry ticket purchases, whether that's in person, at a kiosk, online. Ferry officials say this change was approved last year. People who pay with cash or an Orca transit card will not be hit with the fee. Is this going? How are you feeling about this one, G?
Sure. You got to get some fun somehow, right? Somehow, some way. We've already entered into a contract with each other here in the state of Washington. We don't want any type of income tax. Therefore, we agree to be tax dink and dunk style. Tax here, tax there, tax everywhere. 3% charge goes from a 2% charge to a 3% charge. There's going to be another tax here. As a matter of fact, if you listen to KIRO Radio long enough, for the rest of 2026, I can promise you will hear about some new tax. We'll complain about it. We don't like it. But as long as it's not an income tax, we'll continue to do along with this. And then there's going to be the argument that I have every single day. Well, they just need to do better with the money. They need to go and they need to make cuts and they need to go do all those things. Okay, they need to. I tell you what they keep doing. They keep giving you another tax. And they keep giving you a way to get funds. So,
okay, I just want to say I love you so much because have you all of you listening, have you ever had that relative that you think you're talking about one thing and then they somehow flip it and you realize you're in a totally different place?
That's me.
I was like, I wonder why G is so passionate about talking about this ferry credit card surcharge. It was an opportunity to talk about the Washington tax system. And here we are talking about taxes, income taxes.
What? But you guys...
listen, but you have to admit that's what happened.
That's what happens, though. But can you guys understand this 3%?
I totally... I understand why you went there. I'm just saying I didn't know, and I kind of like that spin you took. I mean, that was clever. I got to get up early to keep up with you.
Okay,
question.
When you guys go to use your credit card in a grocery store or something like that...
I don't pay a 3%. They do, right? I mean,
wait.
Well, it's passed on.
Whoa, when you go to the convenience store, no, they be charging you. They charge you the 3%. No, they get charged on the back end.
But they
charge you too.
Absolutely, totally, yes.
You go in there to the gas station and they say, you see the little deal and you pay the X amount. That's what we do. We're used to it.
But you were like, we're going to talk about that income tax. We're going to talk about the regressive tax system in the state of Washington. I see what you did.
But we agreed to it. Hey, 9:47, we need to talk. There is a judge that was on 60 Minutes that was threatened. Can you guess where the threat came from? Coming up at 9:30, Seattle's e-scooter, is it boom or is it bust? We'll talk about it next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu, the daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you have two choices: handle everything yourself or hire an experienced attorney. Go it alone, and you'll be on the phone with insurance adjusters, chasing medical records, fighting for lost wages, and trying to figure out what your case is really worth. Hire the right attorney, and they take all that off your plate so you can focus on getting better. Harold Carr Law Offices has a dedicated team of 48 people and more than 35 years of experience handling car accident cases right here in our community. Harold Carr Law Offices handles big cases and small ones while still treating their clients like family. Here's the difference they make. They save you time, reduce your stress, and get you significantly more money than you'd ever get on your own. Harold Carr Law Offices fights for you at no out-of-pocket cost to you. If you're in a car accident, call them right away. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
This is Lynn. She's always been active, maybe a little too active back in the day.
When I was 19 years old and immortal, I stripped out all my ligaments and I had to have 6 knee surgeries, and that's on my right knee. And then my left knee finally gave out and had a torn meniscus.
Years of pain followed until she saw Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm 4 months out and I have no pain in my knees, and I have had knee pain my whole life. I have no concept of what it was like without pain. It's a miracle. I'm totally thrilled.
No pain, no limits.
Dr. Wagner gave me the green light to ski again this year. I'm like, that's incredible. So I'm just so excited.
After years of surgeries and setbacks, Lynn finally got her freedom back.
I think he saved my legs, so saved my knees, and gave me at least another 10, 15 years to do what I wanted to.
If joint pain is holding you back, find out what stem cell therapy could do for you with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Jackson Hewitt handles your taxes and your stress. Inhale our no surprise price of $149 or less. Exhale, paying more for complicated taxes. You won't. Inhale new tax law knowledge. Exhale, missing out on your biggest refund? Certainly not. Don't miss paying $149 or less. Rest easy. Jackson Hewitt's got your taxes. Guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Frank Lindsay. Day 3 of the U.S. war with Iran. President Trump speaking from the White House in just the past hour.
The regime already had missiles capable of hitting Europe and our bases, both local and overseas, and would soon have had missiles capable of reaching our beautiful America.
Before we heard from the president, we got an update from the Pentagon this morning. With that part of the story, here's CBS's Vicki Barker.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth insisting Iran was never going to be talked out of its nuclear ambitions.
Iran had a conventional gun to our head as they tried to lie their way to a nuclear bomb.
Saying this, the biggest U.S. military operation since the 2003 invasion of Iraq is not about regime change or building democracy in Iran, but simply sending a message to America's enemies: if you kill one of us, we will kill you. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
A small plane crashed into a hangar at Harvey Field in Snohomish after unexpectedly swerving off the runway. This was on Saturday afternoon. The nose-first impact punched a hole into the hangar siding. Fire crews put out photos of tire marks stretching across a grass strip. No one got hurt, though. A man was shot over a piece of cheap jewelry Sunday morning in Seattle's Pioneer Square.
The SPD says shots were fired on 2nd Avenue near the Pioneer Square light rail station. That victim, bleeding after being hit in the right thigh, is expected to survive, but police say a suspect ran away wearing a shiesty mask, and they say the necklace that he took is only worth about $20. So anyone with information is urged to send tips to police.
KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas. Seattle philanthropist Becky Benaroya has died at the age of 103. Puget Sound Business Journal reports she passed away last Wednesday in Palm Springs, California. Together with her late husband, Jack, Benaroya made a lasting mark on Seattle. They funded Benaroya Hall, which opened in 1998 as the world-class home of the Seattle Symphony. They also built the Benaroya Diabetes and Research Institute at Virginia Mason. On Wall Street right now, the Dow down 46 points, but the NASDAQ is up 95 and the S&P is up 3.5. KIRO News Radio traffic. We did have a crash southbound 5 at Northgate Way, but that has been cleared. Both directions of the First Avenue South Bridge were shut down for boat traffic, and we have a pretty sizable delay Alderwood to South Center on I-5. It'll take you 57 minutes. Usually it'll take you about 35. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio. Weather forecast, mostly sunny, 58 this afternoon, showers and 53 degrees tomorrow and on Wednesday. Right now, 41 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee Ursula Show. Happy Monday to all of you. Angela Poe Russell is in this week for Ursula. Good morning to you, Angela.
Good morning.
Good to have you here. Hey, coming up at 9:47, we do need to talk. There was a judge that was on 60 Minutes yesterday, and he has been threatened for his ruling against Donald Trump. We'll explain that to you next. But right now, with warmer weather and longer days, more and more people in Seattle will be out and about. Some on foot, some on bikes like Paul Holden, and even more on rental scooters. According to Seattle Times today, according to Seattle Today, Seattle hit 10 million scooter and bike trips in 2025, up 60% from the year before. And a doctor from Harborview is raising the alarm about rising number of e-scooter injuries. Dr. Beth Ebel tells Seattle Today, when you have a head injury, it's not something that we can fix. We just keep the damage from getting worse. Seattle Today added that in 2024, Harborview treated 163 serious e-scooter injuries, up 37% from 2023. 41% of those patients had head or neck injuries, 13% were diagnosed with traumatic brain injuries, and the average treatment cost cases were about $92,000. So, what should be done to make these more safe ahead of a huge summer? Angela, this was a topic that you saw and you brought to Paul and I. Your thoughts, my friend?
Use your head before you lose your head. Period. Okay. And what I mean by that is these are fantastic tools. For people who don't have cars, they can get somewhere easily. If they're maybe trying to get through, just don't want to deal with traffic, you can get on the e-scooter. It's just a great mode of transportation. I think it's a good thing. The problem is many people are using them irresponsibly. We had someone just text saying they have a spouse who works in a hospital, and a lot of these people are getting on scooters after having been at the bar. So they're thinking, okay, I'm not going to drink, I'm a little drunk. Let's just get on the scooter. That's not smart to use those devices, which is, I say, use your head, because, they are still an electronic vehicle. On top of that, can we just, if you're going to use an e-scooter every day or an e-bike, can we just take along a helmet? Have you ridden? Let's just talk about Seattle for a minute. I had a concussion because of, it was an old incident at a grocery store. So I've been dealing with a concussion. And you do not realize how bad our streets are until you've had a concussion, because you feel every crack, every bump in the road. The streets are awful. And so you're on an e-bike going up to 30 or e-scooter going up to 30 miles an hour with no helmet.
Right.
Use your head.
When I first took baby G out to Columbus, Ohio, and this was right before the pandemic. It was January 2020 to be exact. And on campus, I was like, wow. Look at all these folks who are on scooters, right? And so I had never, it wasn't really that popular yet. The scooter, they just got popular with the pandemic.
So this was, what year was this? So it was 2021?
It was January 2020.
2020. Oh, it was January
2020.
Understood.
And so I told him, I said, hey, look, just like a bike, these scooters, these are dangerous. Like, if you're going to ride them, you should have a helmet on, one. But two, my suggestion is to not ride them at all, because they're very dangerous. Now, if you've had kids go away to college, the things that you tell them not to do it, right? They're going to do it. That's because we were kids once and we did that. Well, Angela, they were always doing their thing, right? He told me, I will never ride a scooter again. He was riding. Now, granted, he's an athlete. Hand-eye coordination is fantastic. He hit a rock. The front wheel hit a rock, and he went flying. And he says, I think that I was able to fall the right way, but it was close. And he had fear. He had no helmet on or anything. I like what the doctor here says. When you have a head injury, it's not necessarily something that we can fix, but we can keep the damage from being worse. In those that have had, you just talked about the concussion.
I'm going on a year and I'm still symptomatic. I'm going on a year.
Yes. About 15 years ago, I was cleaning cars and I go to turn around and the corner of the door was right there, and I hit my head on the corner of the door. I had effects for that for about 2 years, where it was I'm talking about that night I was sick, not feeling well for a few days. And so when it comes to these e-scooters, I'm sorry, I don't think it's the scooter. I think it's us. I think it's the carelessness sometimes that we are on, like some people going to bars and going to drink and getting on them. And then two, even if you aren't careless, even if you are the most safe person in the world, and it's also, and you guys, maybe you've seen it out there, it can be problematic for people that are just walking on the sidewalk and somebody goes, you know what I mean? Those kind of accidents happen. So I'm not a fan of the scooter, but I will say I like what you said. if you choose to ride it,
be smart about it. That's why I said use your head. Be smart about it. Like wear a helmet. Make sure you're paying attention. This is because so often, like even my daughter admitted, she's like, yeah, I went on the scooters with my friends. They had finished some event. Let's all get on the scooter and ride down the road. It sounds fun. And sometimes, because we're in news, I feel like I'm that hyper vigilant parent. So whenever other parents be like, hey, let's just all pile in the car and carpool and we don't have seatbelts for everyone, but it'll be okay. And we cover all the news. I know it can go wrong. So I see the data. I see that ever since 2017, there's been like a 45% increase each year in these injuries, in these ER visits related to e-scooters. So I see it. I can't unsee it. You've personally experienced it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, just be smart about it and take the necessary precautions.
Paul, you seem like, are you a scooter guy?
I would definitely. I have rode the scooters. I would ride them, but people are crazy when you see 2-3 people on one scooter and the way people go and weaving in and out. I mean, I bike every day, now they're when I'm on the trails. Sometimes they just aren't look. I feel like the biker is kind of a little bit more. Hey, I'm looking for cars. I'm looking for this. Seems like some about those scooters. They just hop on and. Hey, the rest of the world be damned. I'm going where I'm going here, but I'd be lying if I say I don't like them and they're not fun.
Nick, you an e-scooter guy?
Sparingly. The only times I have is when I want to go to like a Mariners game or maybe even Seahawks and got to park far away. It's convenient to have that there if you're going to go maybe a couple blocks or maybe a quarter mile, something like that. But I'm not going around the town with no helmet on. I get worried. Like there's a lot of bumps on the sidewalks, and you can go flying if you don't have any protection.
Look, I don't mean to sound like the helicopter parent that Angela sounds like all the time, but I do want to just say this, like to which Angela's point the entire time has been, if you're going to ride one of those, I really do believe that you should wear a helmet.
If you commute using that, if that's your way to commute, you should put a helmet on your backpack and then you have it. We all went there. We all rode our bikes. We all did stuff without helmets, saying it wasn't cool. But I won't get on a vehicle without a helmet.
But what would be even worse if you're on the scooter is if you ended up hitting someone else and hurting them. That's a whole nother set of problems. Right?
Exactly.
Good call, Brother Nick. Hey, coming up next, we do need to talk. There was a judge on 60 Minutes that was threatened because of his ruling against Donald Trump. We'll share it next. Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. Oh!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Discover a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
We got more news to discuss when it comes to AI. Angela Poe Russell sent us something, and she wants to really talk about it. So, coming up next, we will explain what OpenAI just announced with their deal that comes up at 10 o'clock.
And I just want to add, we should all be paying attention to this story. It is a juicy one.
You made it sound good when you put juicy on it. You know what I mean? Is it a story that we've never, ever heard before?
I think I'm going to try to put it in a way that's really accessible.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll put it in a way that's never been done before. Federal Judge John Kofenauer is a Ronald Reagan appointee that says he's received dozens, if not hundreds, of death threats after he blocked President Trump's bid to end birthright citizenship last year. Here's more from 60 Minutes.
His trouble started when President Trump signed an executive order to end the 14th Amendment's guarantee of citizenship for infants born on U.S. soil to non-citizens. Judge Kuhnauer ruled it, quote, blatantly unconstitutional. The threats poured in.
Some of it was very, very ugly and very threatening.
Death threats?
Oh, yes. Dozens of them. Dozens, if not hundreds.
Judge Kuhnauer told us threats come with the turf. He has sentenced an al-Qaeda bomber and Montana militia members and needed round-the-clock protection. But he said he'd never had as many death threats as with the birthright citizenship case.
I've been at this for 44 years. I have never encountered the hostility toward the judiciary that has existed in this country in the last year. And I don't think it's because we're making bad decisions, I think it's because there are people who think that they can make a lot of political hay out of criticizing the federal judiciary.
Angela Poe Russell, when you hear a judge, a Ronald Reagan appointee, when you hear him speak, and obviously he's telling the truth, his face is right there as a judge, been a judge for 44 years, your thoughts?
Well, my first thought was, do you believe in our Constitution? Because if we believe in the Constitution allows for birthright citizenship. And so if his job is not to make the law, his job as a judge is to defend the Constitution. So he was simply doing his job. But regardless of whether you agree with a ruling, this is never okay. I mean, I hate that I have to even say that, but there are a bunch of people who seem to not understand that when you ramp up the rhetoric by trying to dehumanize people in those positions online, when you call names, but I use the word dehumanize because as soon as we start using terms like monsters and all this other crazy name calling, then it makes them less human and more likely for people to see them as something to take out. I mean, we had that federal judge whose son, someone showed up at her home and killed her teenage son.
Right.
I mean, we've seen a lot of it, and he's been in this position long enough to be able to share his perspective on what he's noticed in terms of threats. So what made you want to bring this story? 'Cause I know you've taken a lot of news.
Yeah, I do. I wanted to bring this up because every day that I come on this show, I try to find things, and Ursula as well, I try to find things that we can collectively agree on.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
I love that, yes.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up is I'm not going to bring up why I think this judge got the threat, because I don't think it's just him. I don't just think that this is just all Donald Trump is the reason why this is happening, right? I think that we are entering into a time where I don't know if social media has us doing it. I don't know if this is how it's always been and I'm being naive. But we are really at an ugly point, and the ugly point that is very dangerous. Like it is very dangerous to talk about a threat like this. Like even if you agree or disagree with that, if I agree or disagree with a colleague, or if you agree or disagree with a neighbor, at no point should it be the threat of someone's life or their family, right? It reminds me of right now when have you ever been on social media and you see that someone's passed away, and let's say on social media it says they died suddenly. It was an unexpected death. Let's say you see that. Mm-hmm. When you see the comments, what's one familiar comment that is used when they say if they died suddenly or it's unexpected? What does usually someone say in the comments?
Oh, I'm not tracking on that.
Oh, okay.
I just know people can be really insensitive and rude.
I'll tell you.
I do know that.
No, I'll tell you. Did they get the shot?
Oh, God.
Right? Did they get the vaccine? And so these things get said, right, on social media. Imagine, now let's make this more of something that we can better understand. Imagine your loved one unexpectedly passes away. And maybe you've had that happen in your life. And someone shows up to the memorial or to the funeral, and you're in the front row, and they say to you, hey, was it the shot? Was it the vaccine? Is it social media making us be this way? Or are we truly this way and we've just been hiding it? And today, I plan on Monday being a day of asking a lot of questions because I'm the king of hot takes. But today, I want to ask more questions. So I'm going to ask you, is it social media that makes us divided and be this way? Or have we always been this way and we've just been hiding it well?
I think it's a little of both. But what I lean towards is the idea that we have disconnected and more people are isolating, spending more time with devices instead of people. I mean, how many parents of teenagers are dealing with their kid who's stuck in a room on a phone, on the computer, and not out at the mall with their friends and doing stuff. There was someone on LinkedIn who posted that they were at a mall and they opened the door for someone, and the person just whizzed through the door, didn't say, hey, thanks, and their whole theory was that we are engaging with systems that don't require a response. They don't require us to engage. So so when you're, to your question, have we always been this way? I think things can be there, but then there are situations and people that can bring out the best in you or bring out the worst in you. I think we all have a devil and an angel in us, and I think it's what people and systems bring out of us. And I think right now with COVID and I think the political climate, it is bringing out some of the worst.
Well, you said that very well.
And listen, what we're talking about next, do you think it's okay? Do you agree with mass surveillance of U.S. citizens? Are you for that?
Just answer yes or no. And then you're gonna bring it up. You're gonna talk about.
I'm gonna talk about it next because that's what's on the table, y'all.
All right. Gee Ursula with Angela Poe Russell.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
There's no beating CM Heating.
Yikey Wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump calls the U.S. attacks on Iran the last best chance to strike.
The president says the U.S. military is continuing large-scale operations in Iran
to eliminate the grave threats posed to America by this terrible terrorist regime.
He said the objectives of Operation Epic Fury are clear.
Destroying Iran's missile capabilities.
Annihilating their navy.
We've knocked out already 10 ships.
Preventing Iran from developing nuclear weapons and stopping it from arming terrorist groups. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
Well, CBS's Charlie D'Agata says Trump has hailed the 4 Americans who've been killed in the new war.
He expresses condolences for 4 U.S. service members who were killed in Kuwait. He said that there may be more to come. General Kane said that earlier today because of the ferocity of Iran's retaliation and the unpredictability of what might be next.
The Pentagon says the U.S. lost 3 jets to friendly fire, but crews on board ejected safely. CBS's Kelly O'Grady reports Iran's counterattack has focused on Israel and oil facilities in the Middle East.
The Strait of Hormuz, it is that narrow choke point where 20% of the world's oil flows through. So if, like now, you are seeing ships get hit, less traffic through that narrow choke point, you are going to see supply decrease.
Well, CBS News contributor H.R. McMaster is a former Trump chief of staff.
What they'll do is continue to attack U.S. bases. They're attacking civilian targets in Israel and 6 other countries in the region. You'll see them try to shut down shipping. I think you're going to see them try to activate terrorist cells internationally.
The FBI says the mass shooting at a bar in Austin, Texas over the weekend could possibly be a case of terrorism. 2 people were killed, 14 hurt. CBS's Jason Allen says the shooter who was killed was wearing a shirt that said property of Allah.
Sources tell CBS News he had clothing featuring the Iranian flag. Inside his SUV, authorities recovered a Quran.
On the Health Watch, new research indicates many teens are not getting a full night's sleep. Columbia University researcher Mark Olfson says the number of teens getting less than 7 hours a night rose about 7% between 2007 and 2023.
Young people who don't get enough sleep are at increased risk for substance use. The grades can start to fall, poor academic performance, attention problems. They can become more impulsive, take risks, be more accident prone.
Wall Street, the Dow is down 15 points. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at JTV.com.
State Patrol says a drunk driver who caused a nasty crash was way over the limit. We'll tell you how much in just a moment. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Alderwood to South Center is going to take you an extra 7-8 minutes, whether you're taking 405 or I-5. Bothell to Bellevue, about a 5-minute delay right now. Federal Way to Seattle, much better, only 27 minutes for that drive. That's about a 4-minute delay, so not too bad there. Get ready for a night of hard-hitting MMA excitement with WFC 190, April 25th at Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Frank Lindsay. Washington's congressional delegation weighing in on the war with Iran. Republican Congressman Michael Baumgartner says President Trump is getting praise from other world leaders about his no-nonsense approach.
We think there are other Iranian terrorist groups in the country. Many of you may remember that the Iranians were linked to an assassination attempt at the Saudi ambassador in Washington, D.C. a few years ago.
Democratic Congressman Adam Smith, ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee, is against the attacks.
This is a massive operation undertaken by the president
for something that will likely be a lengthy war without him making the case to the American people or Congress.
President Trump said this morning the war could last 4 or 5 weeks, but he says we can go longer if we need to. E-18G Growler jets from Naval Air Station Whidbey Island flying combat missions off the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. In support of the mission, retired Air Force Lieutenant General Richard Newton, a national security contributor for News Nation, tells Seattle's Morning News this will not be a one-and-done situation for those planes.
They will be sustained in their campaign, their air campaign, and part of a larger combined air campaign. This happens to be from the sea. From these jets, but they'll be in the fight for a long period of time.
Growlers belong to Electronic Attack Squadron 133, named the Wizards. They specialize in electronic warfare, jamming enemy radar and air defenses. The Lincoln's currently in the Arabian Sea as part of the U.S. Central Command operation. A suspected drunk driver blew a .316 after a crash this morning in Tukwila. The State Patrol says the driver hit another car on the ramp from northbound 5 to SR 599. The other driver was seriously hurt. The suspected drunk driver was arrested on suspicion of vehicular assault. And a heads up if you're in the South Sound from 9 o'clock tomorrow morning through 6 o'clock Friday evening, day and night mortar training will be going on at Joint Base Lewis McChord. KIRO News Radio weather. Mostly sunny, 58 degrees today, and then showers tomorrow and Wednesday. High of 53, scattered showers, 50 degrees on Thursday. Right now it's 44 in Seattle. I'm Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday to all of you. Angela Poe Russell is in for Ursula. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning. We are humming along, aren't we?
We are. Did you want to say humming along? That doesn't even seem like that's something that you would say. Humming along.
What do you mean by that?
Sheesh, gosh. I didn't know you'd use that.
My golly.
Hey, by the way, before we get into the show, Paul, Nick, I got to tell you, Angela brought some chocolate chip cookies this morning.
Oh, you already know. I've had about 3 of those bad boys.
Oh, wait.
They're good.
And they're gone.
Oh, yeah?
So you had some.
I'm glad I got my take then.
Hey, did they really have a salt on the top?
Salt. I mean, our producer of the Seattle's Morning News said that the cookies brought him back to his childhood.
Oh, they're so soft too. It's just like melt in your mouth.
I can never get them to stay up like that. Mine always flatten out.
I know the secret. I have a secret.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, you can't just use butter. You got to dip into the short thing.
Well, it ain't no secret now. We all know that.
Well, you know what? I like to share.
All right. So, coming up at 10:30, this isn't my idea. This is Angela's idea. She's going to be talking about, it's a segment about how to sleep with other people.
Wait a minute.
Is that not the topic?
Okay, see, that's how headlines can get you in trouble. You got to give context. How to sleep with other people?
Is that not the story we're talking about? Paul, are we not talking about how to sleep with other people?
We're talking literally, not figuratively.
That's what I said. I said sleep.
He did say sleep.
Shall we get to our news story?
All right.
Is this the what's new at 10?
Let's go to get to what's new at 10.
What's new at 10?
This is an AI battle we should all be paying attention to.
Okay.
The federal government versus Claude, the AI tech owned by Anthropic. President Trump's Department of War has been in negotiations with them, but Anthropic drew a line. They said you can use our AI for all of your needs except these two.
Okay.
Mass surveillance of American citizens and using it to power autonomous weapon systems. Well, our government took issue with that. And because they refused, the president is banning all use of Anthropic's technology and has announced plans to work with OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. Now, it had me wondering, what was the logic? Because the federal government was saying, well, it's their political ideology. That's why, they're refusing. But they did give reasons, and you can let me know if you agree with them or see it differently.
Okay.
But Anthropic said this is why they're standing firm on their red line. They do not believe today's AI models are reliable enough to be used as autonomous weapons and believe it would endanger civilians and warfighters. 2, they believe mass domestic surveillance of Americans violates fundamental rights. Now, for Sam Altman, OpenAI CEO, he said that this new agreement with the government includes similar safeguards.
Okay.
But I'm like, okay, why would they leave your deal to go get the same deal? That doesn't make any sense to me. But those are the facts that, number one, they don't think the AI is reliable enough yet, and they don't believe in mass surveillance. Now, the government was saying, Gee, that, well, we don't plan to do that. We just feel like we should have all lawful access to the AI.
Yeah.
What is your reaction to this?
Well, I think that we, in some way, talk about this topic of surveillance all the time, right? And the privacy of all of us. I don't get bent out of shape about this topic because, look, I think that we're all under surveillance at all time. I think that if you have a smartphone, you're under surveillance. As a matter of fact, how many times have you been talking about a topic, Angela, and then you go online and all of a sudden you see advertising for that topic? Has that ever happened to you? Or maybe not?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh,
so
it's listening. Yes, it's listening.
So it's happened to you.
Listening. Yes.
It's happened to me.
All the time.
It's happened to a lot of us. So how did that happen then? If we're not all under surveillance, how did that happen?
But Gee, there's clearly another level. There's another level to this that we don't have an idea about. And it's easy to say, well, I'm not up to anything bad, so why should I care? I mean, that seems like a reasonable argument until what you think you're up to is good, but the government thinks it isn't. And they're able to easily find you and track you down.
But here's the thing, though. I agree with you. I believe that we only know, like that little small example of, hey, I was talking about scooters and all of a sudden online I'm seeing advertisement about scooters. I think that we know about that. But I am not so naive to not think that there are other things that we don't know about. I think that's how technology works. Most of the time, the technology that we don't know about, it's already in its advanced stages, right? We didn't learn about in the criminal justice system when they go to try to find out who did it and who's done it. And they go back to find out 40, 50 years ago, they found that person's DNA, right? Now, obviously DNA wasn't a thing back then, but when DNA became a thing, it's not like criminals knew about it either, right? They're like, oh, okay, finally they have some technology. And that's how I am with surveillance. So what I'm saying is I hope and pray that the right thing gets done. But I think Pandora's box is already open and it'll never be closed again.
That's why you want ethical people and companies at the helm of this technology.
What's ethical?
And do we
these
have
days?
that?
What's ethical? And when have we ever? Okay, all right. When we talk about ethical, who determines that?
I think putting up boundaries and guardrails is what everyone has said. If you're developing AI, this most powerful tool in this century, then you want people that are going to be mindful of how it's used. So I have a ton of respect for Anthropic for trying to say, hey, we don't think it's there yet for this.
I heard this morning on America's First News with Gordon Deal. I'm always listening to that at like 4 a.m. By the way, Gordon Deal does a good job. But anyway, I was listening on it, and they had this expert on there, and they were talking about how some people are talking about all of the things that AI is doing, all of the white-collar jobs that is going away, and all of the things it's able to do. So right now, one of the most popular things that's happening across the country is people are preparing their taxes right now. That's coming up, right? And so in doing so, some folks are going through and having AI help them with those things. So I'll ask this. How comfortable are you all with AI? When you guys are talking to ChatGPT, do you have limits? Do you have boundaries of things that you talk about? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But one of the things that they talked about, and this expert talked about, is there are some people that are like, hey, AI, help me with my taxes. Here's all my information, my social security number, and all those things. Like, people are entering in all kinds of stuff, to which the expert said, whoa. because you're entering those things in and you're having no idea where it's going.
And I'm not confident in the leadership. After looking up Sam Altman and the lawsuits that have been filed against him personally and against the company, the kinds of lawsuits, I'm dropping it as of today. I'm going to Claude.
You're going to Claude?
Oh, God, I'm out. I mean...
So what makes you think Claude is going to do the right thing?
When I look at well, first of all, the company just said we actually have boundaries and guardrails. And, Sam is saying they do, but somehow they're getting the government contract. I'll just put it out there. When I look at the kinds of lawsuits that have been filed against OpenAI, I get it's more popular. The kinds that have been filed are more concerning than the ones that have been filed against Claude. For example, the technology encouraging someone to take their own life. Sam, the CEO, his own sister has sued him for rape. And that case, I've not seen the resolution, but it just started. And she talked about how it went on for years. And I am not confident based on some of the multiple different kinds of attacks, or I shouldn't say attacks. I would say lawsuits that have me concerned, because sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire.
Before you move on to the next topic, I want you to know, and everyone else listening, I am not saying that I am okay with additional surveillance. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't want that. I wish that wouldn't happen. What I'm saying is I don't get up in arms about it because I already think it's happening no matter what we think.
You feel like Pandora's box is open and it's over.
Yes. I think that we made a deal
with the devil.
Early on, in the very beginning, when the internet came out. We made that deal when it was open season, when we had an opportunity where Congress was like, oh, what's this going on? And Mark Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey with Twitter at the time, they got to just do everything. They got so much power, so much collection of data. Do you know how much data Facebook has on the world? I mean, no. On the world. When we first started with Facebook, remember there used to be, if you guys remember, let's go back to 2007 and 2008. Remember there used to be all the surveys that you take. You saw my favorite foods and my first teacher and my cat, security questions that you ask when you're trying to get into your bank account. Where have you visited? Name all the places you have been. We've been giving out that information to Facebook.
So, here's my question.
Yeah.
How many shows have you done in the years since you started the Gee and Ursula Show? Do you know how many shows you've done?
6 years.
6 years? 5 shows a week?
5 shows a week ish.
Hundreds, if not. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of shows. Okay. Hundreds of shows.
Okay.
And we are under an administration that is known for retaliation. Mm-hmm. AI in seconds could
go back to what I said.
Distill anything that you said negative and be used against you. Before, that kind of thing had to be researched for a long time. It was very different.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, and I also think we can't give up the fight to try to rein this beast in. But it takes folks with political will to do so.
Okay.
All right, let's get to our next top story.
What do you got?
Oil tankers and refineries are at risk in the Middle East after U.S. and Israeli attacks on Iran. Iran's goal is to disrupt oil exports in the region, which could have a big economic impact around the world. CBS News' Kelly O'Grady has more on what Americans can expect.
You could tap the strategic petroleum reserves. That is something that President Biden did do, but faced criticism for doing that because it's not about bringing gas prices down. That's about keeping supply when we are in very dire straits, which we are not right now. Right. And you've also seen OPEC, which is the coalition of a number of national oil producers, Iran being one of them, decide to boost output. And if you boost output, that means your supply is increased, your prices come down. But again, you're not going to.
I'm sure we predicted this, right? I mean, if the government goes after, Iran, that Iran would try to retaliate and wreak havoc in the Middle East. So I have to know this was expected.
Right. I think that we all can expect that. I mean, look, we already know without that we all know that prices for gas will rise during the spring and summer as you get the, what do you call it, the summer feed or the spring feed, the type of gas that you need because you're changing over. So you're already going to get an increase in gas. Let's just hope and pray that we don't just get a crazy increase in gas. And because we all know that it is and would be the working class that would hurt from it, one. And two, it will be also the businesses that rely on transportation, rely on vehicles that would truly hurt. Right? And look, not everybody has it in their bottom line to have a crazy increase in gas. So
I remember selling my car when gas prices got too high. It was hurting.
Oh, what back? It must have been back in like 08, 09?
No, this was like in the last 4 years. Yeah, I had kept my car my car was sold.
Really?
And I had an SUV. It was really old. And gas prices shot up. And I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So I got a hybrid. I mean, it was like, this doesn't make sense. Yeah, it was a lot. I want to...
One more story.
Yeah, one more story. So this is something local that impacts children. Would love to get your take on it.
Okay.
It's a controversial law that critics say harms children, and there were efforts to try to get this law amended, and it's hit a roadblock. That Keeping Families Together Act, it passed in 2021 and required a child to be in imminent physical harm in order to be removed. The goal was to reduce the number of kids going into foster care, but it put many children in harm's way because social workers sometimes use that law as a reason to not remove a child from a dangerous situation. Well, in this legislative session, lawmakers pitched several bills to amend this law, but none gained any traction. So just to give a little bit of data on what's been happening since that law was initially passed. So 2021, more than 4,000 kids entered foster care. When the law took effect a couple years later, that number dropped to around 2,800. So that's how many kids they prevented from going into foster care, but some did remain in a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
The number has started rising again after lawmakers gave courts more clarity on the threat of opioids. So I wanted to bring this up because I remember Charlie Harger, our Seattle Morning News
highlighting that
host, highlighting that family and the kid who was left in a dangerous situation. Do you think lawmakers have gone far enough to prevent the harm that's been done since the law was passed?
I think that lawmakers and I think that social workers and I think that the best is being done. First, let's be real. There's not a lot of these social workers have a lot of cases. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They have a lot of cases. And if you know a social worker, you know the work that they put in. It's not that they don't care, but they are overworked. And I would say, I don't want to get into the pay part of it, but social workers aren't exactly the best paid folks in the world too. So you have a combination of a lot of things. I think that this topic is very sticky sometimes because some could view like, oh my goodness, that home's dangerous. That father is coming home drunk every single night. That's a dangerous home. Mm-hmm. But when you start talking about someone doing, opioids and fentanyl and all that kind of stuff, that's dangerous as well. I think anyone can look at different homes and have a subjective reason as to why it could be unsafe. I think this is a touchy topic. I think they do the best they can because I do think that sometimes when you make it harder to remove the child, sometimes the child is in a really messed up situation and they stay in. So I'm torn on this topic because I think that there's not just one thing that makes this complex.
I get the motivation for it, or at least part of it. What I am wondering is how much of this was driven by maybe a lack of foster families and having no place for kids to go.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder that as well. Yeah.
All right. Coming up next here on the show, there are a few topics that we need to hit. One of them is, yes, how to sleep with other people. And when they say sleep, literally sleep, like that kind of sleep. The next topic is, and we need to get to this, right now, more and more older Washingtonians are in debt and nearly bankrupt. So we'll talk about those two topics. Next, Gee and Ursula with Angela Poe Russell.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Here's a tale of Linda trying to lose weight, but the med prices she found were all over the place.
Hidden fees and markups made her jaw drop low. Then she found Good RX. Now she's in the know.
GLP-1 subscriptions FDA approved.
With clear upfront pricing.
And same-day pickup.
That's Good RX, the no-nonsense way. Save time and money on prescriptions.
Get to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Nate Connors. Troops from Western Washington are now involved in the U.S. military operation against Iran. EA-18G Growlers from Naval Air Station Whidbey Island launched from the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln. The jets are part of the Electronic Attack Squadron 133, known as the Wizards, and are flying combat support missions as part of Operation Epic Fury. Retired Air Force Lieutenant General Richard Newton is a senior national security contributor for News Nation.
Absolutely essential to begin the campaign, led by those giant, aviators flying those jets.
The Growlers specialize in electronic warfare, jamming enemy radar and communications. A driver going nearly 100 miles an hour in a 35 zone led deputies on a chase in East Olympia before trying to run into a known drug compound. But then they brought out K9 Asher.
You're going to get bit! Asher, take this guy! Take this guy, Asher! Take this guy right here, Asher! Right here, Asher! Take that guy! Take him, Asher! Take him, Asher! Yeah, take that guy. Good boy.
The driver showed signs of impairment and had drug paraphernalia in his car. He was treated, then booked for eluding, DUI, and possession. Seattle philanthropist Becky Benaroya has died at the age of 103. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports she passed away last Wednesday in Palm Springs. Together with her late husband, Jack, Benaroya made a lasting mark on Seattle. They funded Benaroya Hall, which opened in 1998 as the world-class home of the Seattle Symphony. They also built the Benaroya Diabetes Center and Research Institute of Virginia Mason. Her family summed up her impact in 3 words: she showed up. Over the years, she supported the Seattle Symphony, ACT Theater, the Fifth Avenue Theater, the University of Washington, and many others. If you want to catch a lunar eclipse, you'll have to stay up late tonight or get up really early. The first total lunar eclipse of 2026 will be visible across Washington state early tomorrow morning. The partial eclipse starts around 1:50 in the morning, and then the full eclipse begins just after 3. The whole thing wraps up at 5:17. According to the News Tribune, this is also the 3rd full moon of the year, known as the worm moon. It gets that name because earthworms start appearing in North America around this time. And now look at your KIRO News Radio traffic. South 5 is heavy heading into Seattle from Northgate to the Ship Canal Bridge. Linwood to Seattle, you're looking at a 10-minute delay, taking about a half hour. North 5 jams up approaching 520, where Revive I-5 blocks 2 lanes on the Ship Canal. Plan on 5 minutes to get through this backup. And South 405, we're seeing off and on slowing between Totem Lake and Kirkland. Nothing heavy here. And now your weather, mostly sunny and near 60 today. Get out there and enjoy it, because tomorrow clouds roll in, scattered showers, and a high around 53. Where it's sunny and 48 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
When you're in the bed, there's usually one person that's too hot or one person that's too cold. Which one are you? Angela, let's go around the horn. Which one are you? Too hot or too cold?
I'm too cold, and I steal sheets.
Oh, you're a thief.
Gangsta.
Paul, which one are you? Too hot, too cold?
I run hot all the time and have to sleep with a fan.
Nick, which one are you?
Definitely run warm. Typically, every night I get my feet out from under the blankets and I let my feet hang out. You know?
I am too hot. Well, one person Somebody might want the white noise. Somebody might want a nightlight. The others compete for the silence, the blackout curtains. Listen, it can be difficult to find balance, and we all know how important sleep is. The New York Times spoke to some experts for some tips. If you need a soft bed and your partner needs firm, this according to Craig Frunchman, owner of Craig's Beds in Midtown Manhattan, said the easiest solution is just buying 2 mattresses and pushing them together. 2 twin XL mattresses end up being the same dimensions of a king mattress, and you can lay them side by side in the same bed frame. Now, do you have people getting up at different hours of the night or in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom? Well, Dr. Anna Krager, a sleep medicine expert at New York Presbyterian and Weill Cornell Medicine, advises a compromise in the form of a low light underneath the bed or a motion-activated nightlight just bright enough for them to see and make their way. In many couples, there is a disparity in preferred temperature, but it's better to defer to the hot sleeper, the expert is saying.
Hogwash.
A colder room is easier to deal with because you can always add extra clothing or have your own blankets.
No, down with the patriarchy.
But it's very hard when people start to feel very warm at night because the effects sleep significantly. Now, how do you handle the sleeping arrangements with your partner?
I just want to dispute what you mentioned because sometimes I'm so cold that even my head is cold. And so so I'm putting covers over my head. So this whole defer to the hot person. All of you guys were hot and you are men. And so and was this a man who said that? I don't know.
No, it's a woman.
Dr. Anna, woman.
Brainwashed. No, I'm just kidding. So what was your question?
How do you and Vic handle your sleeping arrangements?
So how I've handled it is I've deferred to him. So I guess I'm not totally down with getting rid of the patriarchy, but I have a heated blanket. We have the 2 twins. We have the 2, got it from Costco.
Yeah.
It's the adjustable bed.
Yeah.
So he has his side, I have my side, but we're together.
Yeah.
And then I have a heated blanket that I put just on my side. So when I'm really cold, I turn on the heated blanket. It has a timer, and that's how we've navigated it.
See, I think that is fantastic. Look at you. That's how you do it. Paul, for some reason, you brought this topic, and I feel with your energy that this is a hot topic.
Yeah, this is, I like to come on the show as I'm still in the first 5 years of marriage. I'm still very much in the early stages of things. And, we don't battle over this, but I run hot. I got to have the fan on. And she likes to tuck the sheets really, really tight and gets me constricted. So I feel like I can't move.
I see you rolled up like a sausage.
And I'm tossing and turning. Like, I'm waking up all the time. I'm not a great, sleeper. I'm not a great person to sleep with in general because I wake up constantly because you never know if I'm called into work or something like that. I'm checking my phone. But I kind of had to put I was the aggressor, so to speak, in this one. When my wife and I moved in together, I was like, listen, I know how you sleep at your house, but I have to have the fan. I got to have that white noise. I need that cool breeze.
Okay.
And she's dealt with it, but she always accuses me of stealing blankets. I'm like, you're the cold one. You're the one that needs more of these and always flip over and turn. Half the time I throw them off and I need to just lay there for a second.
919 texts in and says, yes, Angela, I freeze at night while my husband is hot or comfortable. I literally sleep with the blanket over my head, long sleeves, pants, and thick slipper socks.
Oh my
goodness. That's me. That's me.
And my wife is cold too. She's always cold
you're
too.
blowing a fan on her.
Well, no, she's cold before that. I mean, she gets her revenge by in the middle of the night. She'll take a cold hand and she'll just stick it right on your back or something like that, and you're just like, whoo, wake you up real quick.
I've come to the conclusion, I've never seen myself sleep at night, but I can figure it out by the cats. So here's what happens. One cat hangs out with Lillian. The other cat, Vito, hangs out with me. to start. And then I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes, both cats are with Lillian because I like to move around a little bit, you know what I mean? Toss and turn a little bit. So I think, and my wife, she doesn't move. She literally just lays there and does not move, can just be in one little spot, like a real peaceful sleeper. And I don't think a lot of people, I got too much stuff on my mind to sleep
I'm moving.
peacefully.
I'm on the stomach, on the back, on the side.
I'm moving and grooving when I'm in there.
Nick,
it's like,
Nick, you hot? Cold? What you doing, man?
I run very hot. Yeah, I got to let my feet out, and I could not handle the tucked-in sheets like Paul was talking about. I'd be fighting with my feet and untucking that. And usually, I'm a mover when it comes to sleep. Like, I'm rolling around on one side typically, and the sheets, the blanket usually ends up leaning hard on one side, and I got to adjust that.
But let me ask this, Angela. What would you rather be when sleeping? Now, I know what you are, but what would you rather be? Would you rather be too cold or too hot?
I'd rather be too hot. Because too hot, I can just take things out. Like, I feel like it's better to be too hot. I hate being cold.
I'd rather be too cold than too hot.
Everybody wants what they don't have, right? Okay, so here's what I want to know.
What?
Have you ever known the older married couple that just did separate bedrooms or separate beds?
That's getting popular.
But I remember interviewing this couple. They were married it was more than 60 years, and they still slept in a full-size bed together. It was so sweet.
We did a full size up until we moved.
It was so sweet.
So whoa. If you're listening right now and you're married and or you're together, not married, but it's your partner, and you live in the same house, but y'all sleep in different beds.
Oh, I want to hear.
I want to hear. You sleeping in separate beds?
No, I'm not doing it, but I'm saying I can see the allure of it.
I
can
what
see
you trying to say?
No.
I
Listen,
hope Vic's listening.
No, listen.
I hope he's listening.
I have to tell you, it's funny this topic came up because last night I got in bed and I just said this is one of my favorite times of the night. Like we talk and we just, like you go about the busy day, and my favorite time is coming together in the bed. So I do not want that, but I can understand why people do it. Or like, oh my God, you're snoring. I'm hot. You're too cold. Like, I mean, there are all these reasons, but when couples find a way to no matter, I don't know. I just want to know other people's experiences.
I'm sorry.
Why are you trying to get me in trouble?
Because that's what I do.
Dr. Krieger said, actually, though, in that New York Times piece, if you need to, sleep in the separate rooms. And obviously, you'll miss out on some of that, but sleep's very important. So if you guys can't come to the solution, just cuddle and do your stuff. But when it's time to sleep, head on over to your other bed.
Hey, you know what?
Be all right.
Sometimes the big one, snoring, I totally get. That is an issue with some people. So if you want to have to separate in other rooms, I get it if there's a big snore.
Different strokes for different folks. I know for me, when I go to bed, when I go to sleep, I know, by the way, I'm the one that usually, because we go from the couch to the bed, and around, 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm like, hey, and she always kisses me, already? Jeez. But it makes it easier for me that once she gets into bed, by the way, I'm sleep within, I won't even make it 5 minutes.
If she gets in the bed with you?
Yeah.
She's like your comfort blanket.
Not even 5 minutes.
Now, I wonder what Lillian would say. Or does she stay up while you're...
All the time. She stays up all the time.
But she just comes there to be your comfort.
And that's why
that is so sweet.
That's why the shows that we watch, she's like, oh, okay, you got to catch up on that show. You got to catch up on that show. I had to catch up on Paradise recently on Hulu.
That is so sweet. I'm touched.
Well, I don't know if it's sweet, but it's the truth. Hey, coming up next, scenarios. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Nobody should drink and drive. It's dangerous. DUI Heroes cares for their clients as people and individuals who have made a mistake. So if you or someone you know made an unfortunate mistake of driving under the influence and was pulled over for DUI, DUI heroes will hear them and understand them. They will represent them and defend them, helping them get their life back in order. I know Jonathan and his team. They're wonderful people and exceptional at what they do. DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist, DUIHeroes.com.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
The Albertley Appliance Clearance Center, now open in Kent, offering warehouse sale pricing year-round. Up to 70% off closeouts, scratch and dents, overstock, and floor models from all top manufacturers. The Albertley Appliance Clearance Center in Kent. Visit albertley.biz.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Staples has hot deals on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What do the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Let's get right to scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
I've been dating this guy for about 8 months. We only see each other on the weekends because he's crazy busy during the week. Every Friday I get to see him. We go to some dinner, we go to some movies and all those things. And on Sundays we go to church. So I gotta say, he's pretty attentive and affectionate. He seems to be present. Problem is in the 8 months, I've never been to his place. He says right now it's under renovation, it's getting fixed up. And one more thing that kind of bothers me as well, in all the 8 months, he's never posted a picture of us at all. And when I ask him about it, he says that he's private. So last weekend, when I tagged him in the story, he asked me to take it down. He tells me that I'm just overthinking and says that I should just enjoy what we have. My friends think I'm the side piece, and when I say something to him, he says that I'm just being insecure. So, question, do you think that I'm just being too patient and too trusting, or am I just going down a rabbit hole that I probably shouldn't? 888-973-5476 is the Muckshroot Casino Resort text line. Angela, you have to bat first.
I'm quoting someone that says, if it looks like a pig and it thinks like a pig, sorry, what's that say? Yeah, it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, but you think it's a pig, it's a pig. I believe that was Gloria Steinem who said that. We got to start listening to ourselves. Yeah. When we get that moment where we're like, that's strange. Something strange. And I think oftentimes we try to refute it. On the social media clue, that's not the big clue for me. I think some people just don't want their business on social media, period. And you shouldn't tag. Like, I just think that can get weird, especially when it's been 8 months. I think it's a positive sign that you've got prime real estate on the weekend. The thing that concerns me, where I got to put my foot down, is you ain't been to his house, you ain't seen his place, and it's been 8 months. Oh, something's shady. I don't know what the shady is, but it's shady. Has he been to her house? I don't know. Something's up, and it ain't right. And I think she should listen to it and either get the invite over and see what happens or get out.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting. I mean, we've heard that before. Some people remain private. I talked to this about the Gen Z. Gen Z say they remain private and everything before they post. Okay. Before they post them on social media and stuff. That's a big deal. And look, I'm going to give a blanket statement, and I can only speak for men. And here comes my blanket statement. I'm telling you right now, the fellas, when we're excited about that one, we post them. we post them for sure. Now, when we're not that excited, we don't post them. All right, that's all I got for you. That's all I can really tell you.
But what about the not going to the person's house in 8 months?
Yeah, that's a little sketchy too. You put that with not going to the house, and maybe there is renovations. Maybe he could be staying at your house a lot. Maybe there is renovations. That doesn't always mean something. Maybe they can live far away. I know. Now that I think about it, I think Lillian was only at my house twice.
But she's been there.
But she's been there. But you can say something to that. But it was just so far away and all that stuff. Paul, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm with Angela here. I think the worrisome thing is the not being able to go to their house. I mean, you can kind of get a nice little a little bit of confirmation if it's the right guy or the wrong guy if you can head over to their house and see a little bit. You don't have to go snooping around, but say it's a trash heap or they're disorganized or something. You might be like, that might not be for me. Or you might learn some new things like, I didn't know you were into this group or something like that. I see you have this album. The social media one's weird because if you're with someone, though, for 8 months, and if it's just a story and you want to, take that down, to me, this is giving red flags if something's being hidden. That's what I think. Want to give the benefit of the doubt. Everything's good, but how long can you tell yourself in that relationship, it's just how we do things. It's just this, and then ignore these things because they're going to come up. And how many renovations are happening in 8 months? I'm not a homeowner. I haven't been
through. They take a while, but you can go show the renovation. Here's my house. Here's what I'm up to. Bull crap. Rico from Ording said this lady is delusional if she thinks she's his only woman. It's sweet that he goes to church with her, but he's definitely living a double life.
Janet says, damn, if we've been together for 8 months and I still hadn't been to his house, you can bet your bottom dollar that I'd be following his you-know-what home one night.
That shit.
Wait. For some reason, that be you, Angela. You would follow.
No. I would
follow?
not. No. Maybe in my 20s. I don't know, but I don't think I would. But
All right, Nick. Let's see what you got, man.
You know, I'd get this behavior from the guy if it was new and maybe say, I don't know, 2-3 months into the thing. But you're talking 8 months and it's only weekends still with the lady, then adding some icing on top, never a pic or post about the crib, leaving you to wonder. Angela brought a good point. This smells and looks like a duck, and it's best to stick with your gut and feel justified with your suspicion. So make the right move and ask what's going on, or even just end the whole thing. But if you still want to keep that hope and stay naive, so be it. Maybe it's a special situation, but there's no reason to at least get an explanation or even just a pic of what these renovations are doing to this guy's place. I mean, there's a lot going in the air right now.
Listen, there's this book called Protecting the Gift. It's about how you protect your children. It's a really good book. But I'll never forget something the author said. He said, if you have a thought that you need to get a surveillance camera for your babysitter, then that's your instinct telling you something's off because you had the thought. So,
That's a good point. That's a very good point right there. Man. It'd be them surveillance cams and stuff like that, man. They've been good. You pop some babysitters.
Like Paul just said, get a GPS tracker, problem solved.
Jeez.
And that's my point. If you're feeling like you need to have a surveillance of the person, is this the right relationship?
Yeah.
No.
So which one are you most sketched out about, Angela, before we go? In 8 months, not posting a picture of her or not being at the house?
No, it's the house.
It's the house.
Because you want someone you care about, you want to show them where you live, see where, I think by the 4th date, I was at Vic's house.
I think no later than like 2-3 months. You're visiting each other's places.
Okay.
8 months, that's a long time.
2-3 months, 90 days. Okay.
And that's stretching it too. I mean, some people go earlier than that, you know, maybe into the 2nd month or even the 1st month. Who knows?
She's a weekend girl.
All right. We got to get to this topic. We didn't get to it because right now, older Washingtonians are getting further in debt. We'll talk about that next. Gee and Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Parango and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
At the Boy Scouts of America, our oath remains. A scout pledges to be kind, helpful, and brave. We're committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment where scouts can establish the foundations of character that will last a lifetime. Our approach ensures the Boy Scouts of America is building the youth of today into the leaders we'll turn to tomorrow. The Boy Scouts of America. Building character is in our nature. Visit scouting.org to learn more about scouting.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump calls the U.S. attacks on Iran the last best chance to strike.
The president says the U.S. military is continuing large-scale operations in Iran
to eliminate the grave threats posed to America by this terrible terrorist regime.
He said the objectives of Operation Epic Fury are clear.
Destroying Iran's missile capabilities.
Annihilating their navy.
We've knocked out already 10 ships.
Preventing Iran from developing nuclear weapons and stopping it from arming terrorist groups. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
Well, CBS's Charlie D'Agata says Trump has hailed the 4 Americans who've been killed in the new war.
He expresses condolences for 4 U.S. service members who were killed in Kuwait. He said that there may be more to come. General Kane said that earlier today because of the ferocity of Iran's retaliation and the unpredictability of what might be next.
The Pentagon says the U.S. lost 3 jets to friendly fire, but crews on board ejected safely. CBS's Kelly O'Grady reports Iran's counterattack has focused on Israel and oil facilities in the Middle East.
The Strait of Hormuz, it is that narrow choke point where 20% of the world's oil flows through. So if, like now, you are seeing ships get hit, less traffic through that narrow choke point, you are going to see supply decrease.
Well, CBS News contributor H.R. McMaster is a former Trump chief of staff.
What they'll do is continue to attack U.S. bases. They're attacking civilian targets in Israel and 6 other countries in the region. You'll see them try to shut down shipping. I think you're going to see them try to activate terrorist cells internationally.
The FBI says the mass shooting at a bar in Austin, Texas over the weekend could possibly be a case of terrorism. 2 people were killed, 14 hurt. CBS's Jason Allen says the shooter who was killed was wearing a shirt that said property of Allah.
Sources tell CBS News he had clothing featuring the Iranian flag. Inside his SUV, authorities recovered a Quran.
On the Health Watch, new research indicates many teens are not getting a full night's sleep. Columbia University researcher Mark Olson says the number of teens getting less than 7 hours a night rose about 7% between 2007 and 2023.
Young people who don't get enough sleep are at increased risk for substance use. The grades can start to fall, poor academic performance, attention problems. They can become more impulsive, take risks, be more accident prone.
Wall Street, the Dow is down 15 points. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
A member of the Iranian-American local community thanks President Trump. More on that coming up. But first, your KIRO News Radio traffic. All in all, we're looking good out there. If you're traveling through Seattle, plan on about 8 minutes to get through that Revive I-5 backup approaching the Ship Canal Bridge on northbound I-5. South 5, a brief backup to get through Northgate, and then more slowing from the U District to the Ship Canal Bridge. Linwood to Seattle, down to 20 minutes. The First Avenue South Bridge, there's a brief backup headed northbound where 2 right lanes remain blocked on the bridge for emergency repairs. By the end of this week, WashDOT will have more info on the long-term plan here on when repairs might be completed. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Nate Connors. Demonstrators turned out at Pike Place Market over the weekend to speak out against President Trump's decision to launch strikes on Iran.
We really believe in the capacity of people to change, capacity of people to come together, to take action together, unite in action.
Trump says the strikes will continue through the week and after that, as long as necessary.
KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu. One member of the Iranian-American community here in Western Washington thanking President Trump for keeping previous promises to help the Iranian people.
We knew that he is the man of his word, and he kept his word, and we cannot thank him enough.
That's physician Masheed Kamyad, a Marysville physician and former citizen of Iran, who says the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, the eldest son of the former Shah of Iran, should be Iran's next leader. Washington's first ever income tax could get a House floor vote this week. It cleared a key House committee Friday on a 9-6 vote. Bellingham Democrat Alex Rammel says it's necessary to tax income over $1 million.
It's necessary for us to balance our budget over the next 4 years. It's necessary for us to fully fund our basic education, higher education.
Republican Representative Ed Orcutt warns the tax will not work.
There's no combination of taxes that can keep up with the legislature that continually overspends its revenue.
In the end, the committee struck down a proposal to put the tax before voters. A reminder, if you ride the state ferries and pay with a credit or debit card, you'll pay an extra 3%. That fee went into effect on Sunday. Officials say the changes will help fund operations and keep service running. Police say a kid was detained 3 separate times at the same retail store in Tukwila Friday night. Officers first removed him during a disturbance involving at least 5 other people. Then they say he came back. This time his mom came to get him, but he ran away from her. The police say he came back a 3rd time and was spitting on patrol cars. Juvenile detention declined to book him, so police ended up taking him back to his home in Renton. And now look at your KIRO News Radio weather. Sunny and near 60 this afternoon. Tomorrow it's back to scattered showers and a high near 53. And if you're going to watch the eclipse overnight, temps will be into the upper 40s. It's 50, sunshine, a little haze over downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday. Ursula is out. She's on vacation. Angela Poe Russell is in for Ursula today. Good morning to you, Angela.
Good morning, G.
Are you having a good time?
I'm having a blast.
Good.
Like this is like this shouldn't be work.
Good morning to you, Paul. Paul, good to have you with us.
Good morning.
And
Happy
good
to be
morning
here.
to you, Nick. All right. Coming up at 11:33. In Agree to Disagree, the topic is hockey the hottest sport right now? Yeah, we answered that one. I almost answered it right away just then, but we'll ask about hockey because right now it's been getting a lot of attention. But right now, let's get to it. We'll get to what's new at 11.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
The president of Iran's Soccer Federation said He does not know if the national team can play World Cup matches in the United States following the surprise U.S. and Israeli attacks on his country.
In a statement, the president of the Football Federation Islamic Republic of Iran said in part, quote, "What is certain is that after this attack, we cannot be expected to look forward to the World Cup with hope."
That's something, if there's so many ways to talk about what has taken place over the weekend, I hadn't even thought about this one.
I hadn't thought about that either. And that's why I said, at the beginning of the show, have we really thought about all of the repercussions of an act?
Mm-hmm.
I understand as the government, we took advantage of an opportunity. And again, I'm not saying, at the end of the day, it's a game. But it's just another example of just how, actions have consequences and ripple effects that sometimes we don't see or underestimate.
Yeah, I definitely was not ready for that one, and I didn't expect it. So, we'll see. I hope that this is something. I hope that it's something that is resolved soon. But as we all know, that there are problems in Iran that have been talked about.
Awful. Yes.
Things that go on there.
As in other places around the world.
That's where I'm going with this. As in other places around the world. What is the vetting process for how you or we decide to go in and liberate some of these places? Because we can't stop there. There are other places that are doing it. So again, this is a very complex topic. I'm glad it's a topic that we talked about a little bit at the 9 o'clock hour, but hopefully this one.
Yeah, Iran is saying we're prepared for a long war. The U.S. said it's not going to happen, so time will tell.
Yeah. This is a topic that we didn't get to. It's a story that is becoming more and more common, and it's that older Americans who worked their entire life in order to retire are finding themselves having to go back to work with a big spike in bankruptcy amongst boomers. Right now, older Washingtonians are in debt and nearly bankrupt. There was a story specifically in the Seattle Times. And in this story, there was a story of a woman. She had a union job. She was trying to get ready to wait until she retired at 65. Mm-hmm. Well, she was fired at 64. So now she's having to beg, borrow, and claw her way into keeping her savings. And that's been tough. We all know grocery stores, cost of living, gas prices, and all those things are going up.
Property taxes.
Oh, you name it, And the reason why I wanted to talk about this, not because I think that I have an idea on how to fix this. I want to talk about this because when we have topics, usually we're talking about Gen Z. We're usually talking about younger Americans. It's hard for them. I remember in 2021-22, the headlines used to be, nobody wants to work, right? That was a headline that I could not stand when that would happen because that just was not true. But they rolled with it anyways. Or there was the narrative of, well, if you're having a hard time making money, maybe you should choose another job. Or it was, maybe you should stop buying avocado toast, or maybe you should stop buying an iPhone. I'll stop right there because I don't want to bore you with my point. My point is that when we are talking about people that are struggling financially, for some reason, the narrative always seems to be, well, what's wrong with the person? Why is that person in that situation? What is their responsibility? Let's talk. But the truth is, it's the system that I talked about. It's the structure of the system that has been broken. And the reason why I'm taking this time to say this, because now I want to talk about our Americans, especially Washingtonians right now, that are older and are seeing and nearly bankrupt. More and more boomers here in this state are starting to see that. People that have worked 30, 40 years, a lot of people that have worked a long time are finding themselves struggling. That's because I believe in the United States, we don't do enough for our older population.
Okay, so back up a second. So you're saying it's the system. What's your evidence that they weren't? They were just irresponsible. They mortgaged the house for education, or they did, like, what's your evidence of that? Why do you say it's the system versus something they did if they worked for 30 years?
Right, great. Because I do think that there are situations where you can point to responsibility. You can point to, like, for example, if you were building casinos in Atlantic City and all of a sudden you just filed for bankruptcy, right? You have an opportunity to start over, right? I do believe that mistakes do happen.
Oh, I just see what you did there.
Yeah, I do believe mistakes happen. But some people can make mistake over and over and over and over again and still bounce back. Meanwhile, somebody makes one little small mistake and it follows them for life. What I'm saying is this. I just don't like how we talk about these problems. When we talk about SNAP benefits and how we have people here locally, when they talk about how, all you're doing is waiting for a handout. Oh, the SNAP benefits. Like, when you start cutting SNAP benefits for people that rely on food, that's a big deal. So back to your point on the evidence. No, I don't have specific evidence of this specific situation, of the story they tell about the 64-year-old, right? But here's what I can say. I can say this. I think that if you're 64 years old and you lose your job almost to 65, there should be something in place to help that 64-year-old sustain and make it to that 65. That's what I'm saying.
I hope people picked up on what you did there, because it was very clever. You were making a point that businesses, corporations, are able to file for bankruptcy, get government support, and get back on their feet and keep going business as usual. And I get some individuals are able to file for certain bankruptcies. Forever in this country, they were like, oh, yeah, you can discharge everything but student debt. You can't discharge that. And it was like, wait a minute, but other people can discharge their debt, but we can't discharge that one. Right. And so that is a systemic problem, kind of to your point. I'll never forget being in Mobile, Alabama, and we were a family-owned company. People were promised pensions. Okay. Well, when someone came in and bought that company, all of a sudden the people that had their pensions found out they weren't going to have them anymore. People like me that were new, it wasn't as huge of a loss. But to have that many years you've put into a company and feeling like you've lost so much of it, I think they got some kind of a deal, but it was not the equivalent. Mm-hmm. And so where are the protections to keep regular consumers from being taken advantage of? Right. Sometimes we can't just let markets work, because when you let markets work, vulnerable people, actually just regular people, get taken advantage of. Right. Because if we want to think that there are people at the top that really don't care whether you make it or not, all you have to do is look at history.
That's it. Another reason why this topic stands out to me is because I really think that, I have I call it the privilege and an honor to do this show every single day. And to 3 hours, we talk about a mix of different topics, and there's a mix of emotions, and all things come into play. But when I saw this, because we usually don't see this headline here, and we don't see the headline of, hey, right now, older Washingtonians more and more are in debt.
We ignore older people.
Yes.
We ignore them.
We do. But I was telling Paul before the show, and this is why I believe that words have consequences, words have power, is because it feels like depending on your politics, depending on that's where and how you choose to discuss them. For an example, we've talked a lot about SNAP benefits, and we all know with SNAP what they do. What they do is they help people who their needs met when it comes to food. But for some reason, there seems to be this disconnect that happens in this country when people want to villainize people that need those benefits. And so what they'll do is say, hey, what about all the fraud, right? And some people look at that and listen to that and they just hang on every word and they think, yeah, cut those folks off the benefits. And then I told Paul this morning, and I said to him, this topic, which, like you said, I do believe that we do ignore our older population. We do need to do more to help our older population out. Imagine if I came on the show this morning to talk about this headline. And the headline is, it is the fact that right now more and more Washingtonians, older ones, are going more and more in debt and filing for bankruptcy. Angela, imagine if I came with this story and I led off with, well, you should have did better with your money. What if I would have led off with, well, I tell you what, I'm seeing older folks with iPhones, and I'm seeing you guys in coffee houses, and if you should have thought about this before you chose a career that you did. Now, but you shake your head. But hypothetically, what if I did that? So I'm saying I believe that I would be a jerk if I did that. That is not a cool thing to do. But I wish that people would keep that same energy and apply it to the other groups of people that do have a hard time. Does that make sense?
So it makes perfect sense.
Instead of villainizing the person, can we point to the system? This goes for Gen Z. This goes for it doesn't matter the generation. This goes for people. We have to stop going with our political narratives on topics so we can either get votes or we can gain listeners or gain views or get better ratings.
The question is, within systems, who gets grace and who doesn't? Who gets a do-over and who doesn't? Who gets the bailout and who doesn't? And
what is the difference between a bailout and a handout? You see what I'm saying? You see how that happens?
Oh, that's good.
You see
that's
how
good.
that happens?
Yeah.
What is the difference between a bailout and a handout?
You know what's interesting about using what your party identification to determine how you feel about a topic. So this morning when I was talking about that Keeping Families Together Act, I noticed in the article they mentioned the party that the person was with that was proposing this. And as I'm writing the story, I was like, why is it relevant for me to mention? Because at the heart of this, we're talking about this issue of what should happen to a kid who's vulnerable. Should they be put in foster care? And when should they be put in foster care or kept with their family? Why is that an issue that should be divvied up between Republicans and Democrats? For me to go then determine how I feel about it.
Exactly.
So then I can say, oh, wait, Republicans are supporting that, so I guess I need to see what the Democrats, because I am this and I identify as this. And that's what we need to get out of. We need to look at the topic and form our own opinion. Right. I actually joked with you this morning that you and I sounded like Republicans talking about a particular topic. And the thing is, we should sound like different parties depending on the topic.
We absolutely should. And, you know, this is a very emotional topic for me, and I'll tell you guys why. The reason why is because I truly believe that the people that debate about this, argue about this, campaign on this, get votes and all that stuff on this, they're so disconnected to the reality. So when they speak on these things, it makes me feel like you don't even care about the people. And so when someone's struggling, if it's hard for them to pay rent, or it's hard for them to buy groceries, and they're in their 60s or 70s, or they're 61 years old and they've just been laid off, right? And so they're having a fear because right now the job market is kind of closed at that time.
Because who hires the 60-year-old or
Absolutely.
the 50? Yeah.
So when that happens, the part that I cannot get used to is this. Well, that's what happens if you vote Democrat. Or, well, that's what happens if you vote Republican. Like, these are only conversations that happen online. Like, there's a difference between online and reality. And online, and a word that you used earlier, and it was so beautifully put, online, there are words and narratives that are just used to dehumanize people. That's it. But in real life, if someone has a hard time and they lose their job or it's hard for them to pay bills, they're normal. The normal is, wow, hey, I don't really have that much, but there's anything I can do for you?
If you're at the checkout and someone can't pay for something small and you're like, hey, let me help you out. You don't want to know who you voted for and what you see a human who needs help. But I tell you what I take away from this conversation, well, so many things. But that line about what's the difference between a bailout and a handout.
Do you know that answer, Paul? What is the difference between a handout and a bailout?
Nope. I mean, I think the answer that usually people would tell me would be pick yourself up by the bootstraps and figure it out.
Yeah. And look, I just want to look as we get ready to get away from this topic. We're going to be doing agree to disagree coming up next. And the reason why I took this story and made this angle is that I hope that the next time that you hear someone using their political agenda to talk about the problems that we have in this country, and especially social needs, more specifically social needs, I hope you remember this story right here. That it is sometimes when someone's down or a group of folks are down and are struggling, the last thing they want to hear is, well, guess you should have done something better. Well, you can't be lazy. Well, you can't just be asking for a handout, because I promise you, it just makes the situation worse.
And let me drop one fact as we go to this break. The number one cause of most people's debt they get into, medical.
Coming up next, we'll do Agree to Disagree. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. KIRO Newsradio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals.
Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Hey, it's Jake Skorheim. March is the start of spring, as we all know, and my outdoor to-do list is already growing. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing has my back and yours when it comes to checking off those honey-do list jobs. And with Valentine's huge March promotion, they're not only going to take care of you this year, they have you covered for next year, too. This month only, you can get a free year of roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof. Then you can enjoy seasonal checkups and professional care to keep your new roof looking its best. Plus, they have flexible financing with payments as low as $159 a month. And the Valentine experience, as we all know, seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. So it's no surprise that Valentine Roofing was voted 2025 Gold Best Roofing Company in the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. To take advantage of Valentine's free year of roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof, call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
John Curley here. A Lennox heat pump does the work of a furnace and air conditioner. And right now, get Lennox heating and cooling for the price of AC. For heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical, call the Comfort People. Home Comfort Alliance. HomeComfortAlliance.com. An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
Fresh food comes from local farms. Check the package. For the best for your family, choose locally fresh Wilcox Family Farms eggs. And for eggs with 3 times the omega-3, choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
High five! Up top! Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Heck yeah! He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Yes! The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Nate Connors. Senator Patty Murray voicing her opposition to airstrikes in Iran. She wants members of Congress to return to the nation's capital and vote on a measure to end the war. Murray claims President Trump ordered the airstrike simply to satisfy his own arrogant pride, and she's concerned the fighting could quickly escalate out of control. Senator Murray claims the president has not identified immediate goals and says there's no guarantee the attacks will result in democracy and freedom for the Iranian people. Republican Congressman Micah Baumgartner calls the attack on Iran important and necessary. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
Baumgartner says President Trump is receiving praise from other world leaders for his tough stance on Iran. He says there could be short-term economic impacts like higher gas prices, and he fears terror attacks in retaliation.
We think there are other Iranian terrorist groups in the country. Many of you may remember that
the Iranians were linked to an assassination attempt at the Saudi ambassador in Washington, D.C. a few years ago.
Democrat Congressman Adam Smith calls the attack a big mistake. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A suspected drunk driver blew a .316 after a crash this morning in Tukwila. The State Patrol says the driver hit another car on the on-ramp from northbound I-5 to State Route 599. The other driver was seriously injured. The suspected drunk driver has been arrested on suspicion of vehicular assault. A driver who rolled his car on I-5 pulled a gun on someone who stopped to help him. The State Patrol says it happened early yesterday morning on southbound I-5, just south of the King County line in Pierce County. The driver was ejected and lying injured on the ground when the passerby pulled over. When the passerby refused to give him a ride away from the scene, the driver pulled a gun on him. He then ran off into the woods. The passerby wasn't hurt and called 911. Troopers found the driver later that morning after a friend called saying the man was in the woods and couldn't walk. He's now being treated at a hospital. And now your KIRO News Radio traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. We've got a couple new blocking problems on the map. Eastbound 90 approaching West Mercer Way, a stall blocks your right lane. And in Sumner, we've got a crash northbound 167 just past the West Valley Highway overpass. It's blocking the HOV lane. Here in Seattle, if you're traveling northbound, we've got a 5-minute delay now approaching the Ship Canal Bridge. But once you get over that bridge, it's wide open. In fact, Seattle to Linwood, less than 15 minutes. Coming the other way, Linwood to Seattle now less than 20, just minor slowing at Northeast 50th across the Ship Canal Bridge. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. And now your weather, mostly sunny today with a nice warm high around 60. Get out there if you can. Scattered showers return tomorrow and a high around 53. That forecast continues into Friday. Sunny with a little haze and 50 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. Good morning. I can't believe it's already 11:30. Like, I looked up. I
know time has flown.
It has really flown. All right, let's see what Paul's got going. It's time for Agree to Disagree, brought to you by Garden Roofing Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
It was a weekend of history for some hockey fans out there. The Seattle Torrent has set a new attendance for the Professional Women's Hockey League, and it's the new U.S. arena record for any women's hockey game. 17,335 fans.
This is amazing.
Yes, we're
I'm
at
cheering.
Seattle's game on Friday. So, with 2 pro hockey teams in town, 2 gold medals for the USA in the Olympics, and it was the first ever sellout game for the Torrent at Climate Pledge Arena. Angela, do you have hockey fever?
Wow. After that story, yes. I haven't watched a ton of hockey. Listen, being, working and being a busy parent, it's been hard to make time for those kinds of things. But hearing about this and the excitement around it, it makes me want to be part of it. My daughter has she's always been into the WNBA, and now she's gotten into the Unrivaled League. Uh-huh. I don't know how many of our listeners know about it, but it was a league co-founded by Breanna Stewart, and was it Nafisa? I may get a name wrong, but I believe it's Nafisa and Breanna Stewart. They founded this league. It's 3-on-3 basketball, and it has blown up. I mean, great crowds, TV deals. I just love women getting the attention they deserve in the sport. And I recognize it's a different game. There are differences between men and women, and it's exciting to watch. And so I'm really excited about the Torrent and all the activity around it. Are you a hockey fan in general, G? Is all of this,
Yeah, I'm a Kraken fan.
You're okay.
I'm a Kraken fan, and I'm a Kraken fan specifically inside of Climate Pledge Arena.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I like my hockey. If the hockey is being played inside of Climate Pledge Arena, it's all good to me. I just have not figured out how to take my love of that game that match inside of Climate Pledge and bring it outside and watch it on TV. You know what I mean? I can't go that far.
It doesn't translate.
No. 2, don't ask me any of the names of the hockey players because I don't know. I don't know who's who. Don't ask me what position is being played. Don't ask me any type of rules. Just ask me, am I having a good time at Climate Pledge Arena?
For those who've never been, what is it like?
They got the best customer service in the world. Climate Pledge Arena is to arenas what Chick-fil-A is to fast food. The best customer service. Everything is just phenomenal. And look, listen, I'm not just saying this. You guys, matter of fact, I've never gotten on the air and talked about Climate Pledge Arena. But I'm just telling you right now, you go to a concert there, it's great. It's not a bad seat in the house. The people are so amazingly nice. And it's like, hey, where do I find this seat? Oh, right this way, sir. They actually make you feel good. So I love Climate Pledge Arena. I love the Kraken. Do I love hockey?
Hasn't gotten you. All the does the Olympics or the international competition, does that do anything for you, G? The
Winter Olympics? No. The United States be getting beat up in the Winter Olympics. That's why I've never been interested in it. I'm only waiting for the summer.
But we had the
Olympics.
hockey teams do well.
I know. Before then, I had no idea that the hockey team was going to win. When the last time hockey team won like that?
And let's face it, there's a lot of kids that maybe they do play hockey, but it's a very niche sport in terms of when you're young and playing it, because you got to learn, first of all, it's just the stick and the puck. That's one thing, but learning how to skate at the same time, I'm still trying to learn how to skate on the ice. That's its own problem.
And Nick, I ain't gonna lie to you. Your dog don't even know what a puck is. Now, especially when you are at the game. I don't know what that puck is.
Have you ever been ice skating before?
What you think?
No.
All right, I want to move on to another big thing here in the world of pop culture.
Yeah.
The Screen Actors Guild held its Actor Awards last night, with Sinners taking the top prize for movies and The Studio and The Pit were the big winners for TV. So I want to have our own little award show here for movie theater or movie night snacks. But first, G, do we have too many award shows?
Way too many. Way too many award shows. Right now, if you're listening, can you name them all? Probably not. You got a few, like the main ones, but right now, there's just too much. Between New Year's Day and March, there's just way too many. The Grammys, the Oscars.
I disagree. How boring would it be just to have one or two award shows determining what things get highlighted? I think having multiple award shows gives different projects a chance to shine and be highlighted. I think that's great. Art is so subjective. Give them multiple cracks at it.
Okay. You know what? Let's go deeper. When we all had, and Nick, Paul, you guys have known about this, but when we all had 3 channels, and we only had 3 channels back in the day, the award shows meant a lot more then. Today, don't nobody care.
Yeah, MTV was like, we got the MTV Awards. VH1's like, we got our awards.
Nobody. Look, I'm being serious. You're not. Are you just doing this for the sake of the show?
No,
are you telling
I really
me
do like
you
multiple
care
award shows.
About all of these awards.
I'm not saying I care about them, but I think it's important. Like you saw, Sinners won big last night. Whereas at some other shows, it has not done well, but it was great to see it acknowledged because for so many, like my daughter says that Sinners is her favorite movie. I mean, think of all the movies out there, and she's like, "Oh my God, Sinners was just."
I just want to say, y'all know me. Was Sinners good? Yeah, sure.
What? It was amazing.
I mean,
okay, This was supposed to be about snacks,
no,
and as usual,
Sinners was good. It was a good movie. Is it? Oh my goodness! One of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Heck no.
It was thought-provoking. It brought in music and history.
Was it better than Malcolm X? And that won no awards.
I was so young with Malcolm X. I have to rewatch it. But Sinners was really complex in a good way. All the deeper meetings, but we were supposed to be about snacks.
Yes,
we'll have. Okay, what happened with snacks?
All right, I want to have our own little award show here. So, if you were to award the best picture, so the best snack, so to speak, what would be your best movie night snack? Is it the obvious, the favorite?
Well, I'm going to put a little twist on it.
Okay.
Because my movie theater is at Cinerama that has the chocolate and salt popcorn. Like it's a popcorn that mixes, some is regular popcorn and some is chocolate drizzled, and they mix it all together into one delicious bag of popcorn. And so popcorn wins the best snack prize.
I mean, at the movie theaters, I don't think anybody can argue. Popcorn.
At home, too.
No, not at the crib.
Listen, do you know we eat popcorn at our house like every night almost?
It's a good snack.
It's a healthy snack.
It's a healthy snack. I don't mind
And don't let me pop it on the stove and put my lime on it and a little bit. Oh,
interesting.
Don't.
Hey, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you had the awards right now, the Academy Award for Best Snack.
Are you going to say Red Vines?
In the world right now is frozen grapes.
What?
That's
What?
my.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Hey,
You put them on
frozen-
some toothpicks?
Listen,
I have never had a frozen grape.
I'm telling you right now. Every night. As a matter of fact, I just realized I don't think my wife got some frozen grapes for us ready. Frozen grapes, I have it instead of I'm needing dessert, I don't need dessert.
Do you have
the frozen grapes? I'm telling you, eat those things.
They don't break your teeth. They don't like
No,
it's,
you just sit there and kind of gnaw on it a little bit, and it takes you a little bit to eat one grape, and it's so good.
Have
They're
you had a
cold.
frozen grape?
Not a frozen grape.
I've never. Can you bring us some?
I've had frozen strawberries.
Like
All you
tell
gotta do
Lillian
is
to hook us up. I want Lillian's frozen grape.
Go get some grapes.
Can't even get a
Wash
grape.
them off. By the way, she put. When I get the grapes, between us, y'all, when I get the grapes, I just grab the grapes, put them in a baggie, put them in the freezer. She gets the grapes. She puts some the baking soda and all that in the water and wash them
I
off.
want a Lillian grape.
Hey, my grape might be a little dirty.
So do they freeze for hours, or you just do it for an hour?
Oh no! You they gotta freeze for hours. You
Okay.
can't, they
They gotta get cold.
They gotta be.
What's y'all's Academy Award for best snack?
Oh, for a movie, you got to have popcorn. But I'm with you. I have popcorn with Bunch of Crunch in it.
Oh, you like the Bunch of Crunch. I like to combine it with, peanut M&Ms or if I'm feeling fruity, the Skittles. But if I don't got popcorn, I'll make myself some nachos at home and then make a little guacamole with pico. Ooh.
Yes.
I'll do a hot dog, too. I'll eat a hot dog.
Before we get out of here, I know we late. At the movie theaters, are they finally giving you enough cheese on the nachos? Remember, for years, they give you all those nachos and just a little bit of cheese.
I'm not talking movie theater nachos. That's the Velveeta stuff. I want the real cheese on my nachos.
Oh, you putting it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that Velveeta, though. It's kind of good. All right, text messages, feedback, and then we'll have words to live by.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Your old water heater's starting to peter. DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net. Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Mark is 76, and his shoulder pain was getting in the way of him playing baseball. You heard that right. Baseball.
Yeah, there's a whole league here of old guys pretending like we're kids.
The pain from severe arthritis just wasn't going away.
It was like a nerve-type pain, and I couldn't sleep at night.
That's when Mark decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
Well, if I can avoid surgery anytime, you'd probably be better off.
Mark is back out on the diamond playing baseball.
So I moved into this retirement community, and I talked about my shoulder, and these old people here, they got all excited about it, and 2 of them now have gone to see Mark Wagner. They don't like driving into Seattle, so I drive them in.
He more than recommends Dr. Wagner. He chauffeurs. So whether it's a hip like mine or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. He's the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Angela Poe Russell is hanging out. Before we get to the text messages, and by the way, you read all the text messages in here in a second. My wife texts me, and she says, remember I said that she soaks the grapes and I put her like a baking soda on there? She said that's Kool-Aid. So on hers, she has a special one that she does for herself. So she soaks it in Kool-Aid. Somebody texted in and said they soaked their grapes in rum and then they put them in the freezer. Listen, I'm telling you, outside of cut up watermelon for me at night, I'm waiting for watermelon season to start. The frozen grapes are heaven.
Do you see now, though, why I was asking for a Lillian grape? Because I know Lillian can cook, and I knew that she wasn't going to just do a plain frozen grape. I called it.
But see, sometimes
Watch my girl hook me up.
Here's the thing. Sometimes she does too much to the dang on grapes. I get mad because what happens is I'll eat all my grapes and just her grapes are left in her bag, and it's just got black sugar all over the grapes. You don't need that. All right. What do you got for the text messages for us?
Okay, let's talk about, I got a text from Jeannie from Snohomish. Yay, Angela for a week. Hi, Angela, from one of your big fans. Thank you.
Nice.
And Maria in Bellevue. Angela, please don't listen to the news before bed. It'll ruin your sleep. Maria, thank you. It's a good reminder. Shut it off.
We were talking about the ferry credit card fees. Robin Puyallup says more and more places are passing on these back-end costs, especially the smaller mom-and-pop businesses. 206 says passing the 3% credit card processing surcharge to the customer is fair. It would be more fair to bake the charge into the standard price and offer a discount for those paying cash, but that would really slow things down at the point of sale.
Ooh.
815 texts in and says, Gee, you got to do the frozen cotton candy grapes. 815. My wife just got the cotton candy, and she has those in the freezer. I told her that's too much. Cotton candy grapes. Come on now. That's not good for you.
Let me give you some new language.
What?
Thanks, dear. That's it. Just thanks, dear. Thank you, Lillian. All right, we were talking about e-scooters and just the increase in the amount of injuries. Donnell in West Seattle, my son, scooter accident, hip replacement, femur repair, head injury, wear a helmet, and never take one of your hands off of the handles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 425 says, welcome back to the 90s. Wear a helmet or it's on you. We all survived on our bikes.
Kevin from Paulsbo, like what you said about riding the scooters drunk. So yes, use your head or you really will be using your head in the hospital, losing your head in the hospital. And just talking about people getting on scooters after they've been drinking, like a dangerous combination.
Yeah. Sue in the 206 says, how many of those scooter injuries have been a result of riding like an a-hole? So many jerks riding fast on the sidewalk.
All right, we were talking about social media. It was a question that you had raised, G. Is social media causing some of the conflict and the rifts, or are we just like this? Like it's already in us. Marco in the 360 says, social media pounding anything in our heads, and some of us are looking for a so-called leader to show us the way, right or wrong.
Yeah, we're talking about AI and the government. Richard here says, another example of intimidation. Oppose us and we'll destroy your business. Why aren't people terrified by this?
Jim in Linwood said we still shouldn't be okay with additional surveillance. And that's also why we need stronger privacy laws, not just say, oh, well, it's already here, so what are you going to do? Am I right?
All right. It's now time for Words to Live By. What you got?
Listen, I forgot to pull one, but I am going to tell you one of my favorite ones. It's from Maya Angelou. It's without courage, you can practice no other value consistently. And so thank you for having the courage every day, G, to show up as your authentic self and to share words that I think inspire people and make people think.
Oh, thank you. By the way, would you say, Nick, that Maya Angelou makes it to the Words to Live By more than any other person?
It's a popular choice, yeah.
It's a
I've heard that name a lot.
You can't lose a Maya.
But yeah, you can't go wrong.
Maya. May she rest in peace. What do you got there, Brother Nick?
Well, there's some risky business that we talked about today, from a scooter trip on sidewalks to sleeping a certain way. But I'd rather learn to share a bed with someone who runs cold than to fly off that two-wheeled machine that doesn't feel controlled. And maybe you like warmer beds to get you back in shape, but I'm trying to cool off when sleeping like a frozen grape. Don't knock that snack till you try it, folks. Now, Lillian's Kool-Aid hack has me curious about it again, too.
Soaking them in Kool-Aid.
Hey,
what?
Kool-Aid, man.
But you have to admit, Lillian can cook.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But she can. But just like, there's just certain things with the grapes. Like, you don't need anything else. Just freeze the grapes. You don't have to put the Kool-Aid to it and all the extras.
So all this time, you didn't know she was doing the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, I guess I forgot.
It probably makes it a little better, though.
He was like, oh, it's baking soda.
That's just to clean them.
Hey, by the way, baking soda has been used for a lot of things. Hey, thanks, Angela. Are you coming back tomorrow?
I am back tomorrow and
good.
the rest of the week, and I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Paul.
Happy to be here.
Are you back tomorrow?
I'm here tomorrow.
Come on, man. Nick, what's up?
Same crew tomorrow, baby.
You back tomorrow, too?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
You as well.
All right. The Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. Make sure you stick around. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
At Bible Law Group, we understand what it means to be local legal representation. From shopping at the Bon Marché, picking up gear at Chubby and Tubby, crying for Joey Cora, now for Cal, grabbing a burger while JP Patches clowns by. We live here and fight for you. That's why Bible Law gives local representation to those facing legal problems too big for prayers, even if you can't pronounce Squim or Puyallup. Our legal team has secured more than $40 million in settlements for our clients. We're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
Have you ever wondered how to use your tax return to reduce future taxes? Madrona Financial's 1040 Treasure Hunt is a free hands-on workshop that shows you how to analyze your return and uncover tax savings opportunities. This free event is happening March 3rd at 6 p.m. at Madrona's Kirkland office. RSVP at 833-673-7373 or visit madronafinancial.com/events to reserve your spot today.
This is a paid advertisement. Investments involve risk. See full disclosures at madronafinancial.com.
Yikey Wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Staples has hot deals on everything for your business, like up to $125 off your print order. Ends 4/18, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
KIRO FM.